Alright, we're standing by the TORO WORKMAN. It's a 2110. I think it's got a 14 or 16 horsepower air-cooled engine. It's just got this paper cartridge. I've already cut the this diamond mesh off the outside. This happens at least once every year and a half. One of the spark plug dies for some reason. It either floods or... I don't understand the reason, but then this thing gets saturated with gas. Maybe it's because this gets plugged with dirt, but I don't think so. It doesn't even look dirty. And then the oil now needs to be changed, so it's full of gas. It's like there's an extra. It's almost like somebody poured an extra liter of oil in it. The crankcase is full of gas and oil mixed together. So what I'm going to do is an air filter hack. We had a couple of air-cooled X-Mark mowers in the I think about 30 years ago, early 90s, mid 90s, and we had foam wrapped around the outside of this. It was I call it a pre-cleaner. It came like that from the factory, and then it would allow you to we put oil on the foam and squeeze it around and even it out, and then squeeze the excess out, and then it would go on the outside of the paper cartridge, and all the fine dust particles would stick to it. And you'd wash it every day. We pretty well washed it every day or two. If you cut grass after it rained or something, there was almost no dust. But if it was more like a situation where it hadn't rained in like the end of July or August, hadn't rained in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So what I'm going to do, we're going to use some of these masks for something useful for the first time. And we're going to cut this paper cartridge out and just try and get the first half of the summer out of this filter, because they're about $35 plus shipping for these, and I don't want to buy 2 a year, so we'll try that. And then I gotta change the oil in it too. See, just this is all gas in this pan here floating around there. I threw this in here last week, and now it's Monday. I'm gonna dry it off with some rags. Cut that paper out of there. I'm going to cut this, maybe cut this a little smaller, and then we'll wrap some wire around there to hold that in place. Let's get started. That's what we're going to do today. Maybe it'll work, I don't know, maybe it won't. Well, there's the remnants of cutting that stuff off, and I mean, it's soaked with gas. My hands are just totally impregnated. And there, I just wrapped, it only took 3. The 4th one I didn't use. I ripped the elastics off of my hands, and then it's a little crooked. It's not the prettiest. It's actually maybe a terrible idea. It may not work at all. I think it'll work though. But we're going to get 2 uses out of these filters. Out of these, yeah, expensive filters. If they're $5 or $10, I just buy a box of them. I wouldn't get it over with. But at $30 plus shipping and taxes and everything, we're going to try and get 2 uses out of these. So I'm going to slam it back in the canister, and we're going to change the oil, and this machine should be ready for the summer. And I haven't changed the spark plug in over a year, so we're getting there was some summers there where I'd have to change 2 or 3 of these. Depends. I don't think that filter is terribly dirty. It doesn't look like there's a lot of dirt. It's just flooding, and so spark plug seems to. These spark plugs have an electronic device in there, and when they flood, they quit working, and then the gas just pours into the carburetor and comes out and saturates the air filter, which even blocks it even more, because then I think when the filter's wet with gas, even less air goes through it. So then all that gas ends up going right into the cylinder that's not firing, and then making its way past the rings into the crankcase and saturating the oil. So it's due for an oil change anyway, so I'm kind of glad that it was due at the same time as this happened, because it doesn't take a lot of oil, but it takes time to do. So there's our Redneck repair. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it's a dumb idea. I don't know. We're going to give it a shot. Thanks for watching.